Bernard, there's a theory about this station and Arsenal.
Really? What is it?
The former breakfast man, Mr. David Oyuke.
Yes.
Arsenal kukufa, like kuko chini ya kitanda. No, the man who came here to take over from him.
Yeah. Kuna hiyo homa.
First of all, you need hate speech, and you need to blame like our uncles and our dads because they loved Arsenal at the right time. Unajua? I believe when.
What do you mean at the right time?
Because akina Beckham, akina Vieira, akina nani,
first of all, when you say our fathers, I feel extremely old.
Oh, okay.
Because that one I was watching.
You're watching?
Yes.
Pole. Wewe ni kijana mkubwa. You're a big boy. You're a big boy. So the narratives that came with akina Thierry Henry.
Yes.
Those are the reasons as to why we're still diehard Arsenal fans. The great names akina Fabregas who came later on. They wrote about a form
Perez,
of Perez,
Ljungberg, Sol Campbell, Ashley Cole.
Exactly. And it went on and on and on. So I'm watching football from the fence. From
behind the sofa.
Behind the sofa, because the mistake you do is actually expecting other people to lose so that we win more games. But of course, the fanatism goes like a long way, extra way. But bado tunapenda team. Mpia naona tumerelease. Sasa tuko sawa.
So on Tuesday you are very sad. Because Spurs refused to behave.
Spurs walikataa kufanya ile kitu. And we talked about it. It's not like in the middle of the games you're not calling these guys from Spurs and telling them, "Hey, si kidogo chapeni ya watu." Ama mtoke draw. Kwa sababu mnaharibu petu. Mnaharibu chances za kikombe.
You know it's funny, Wokabi, because I'd seen somewhere that Spurs fans had a moral dilemma because they wanted to finish top 4.
No, Spurs fans did not have a moral dilemma. No. Spurs fans were very clear. You must not win. Spurs fans didn't care. You must not win. They were very clear.
They don't want Arsenal to win. But
no. There is no way you can help your fiercest rivals to win.
Bernard,
they don't care.
Let me tell you. People assume like internationally versus Arsenal biggest rivals, but hapo home inakuanga team nyingine different sana, ndio? Inakuanga nani Aston Villa ama inakuanga nani?
Actually I think Man City Arsenal rivalries within other parts.
No, in Kenya we've created
that buzz. It's not globally, it's not necessarily the
same. In Kenya, Man United Arsenal is the biggest.
It's the biggest, yes.
But United Liverpool is the biggest.
Yeah.
And then United Leeds is another one.
Exactly.
So those are the Yorkshire derby.
Arsenal,
it's Arsenal and Spurs. That's
Spurs,
the most heated one.
Yes. So
North London.
Guys expecting that Hotspurs were actually going to help us out. Mostly about home and the kind of rivalry they have. So the bitter edge was tulikuwa tunaomba.
Tukaambia mjipange.
Tukaambiwa ni either mtacheza mpira ama mwende msupport nini.
I have a theory and I want to listen what you think about it. For most people, okay, let me start with where do you think Arsenal lost the initiative? Where do you think you guys lost it?
I don't think we usually lose the initiative.
No, this season. Because Arsenal on point, then things have just. So where do you think things went slightly off?
Shidani, we start with very easy beginning, and then now we start meeting like serious games soon after. Table inaanza kuchange. Unapata most of the teams in the league unapata wanacheza games zenye ziko a little bit harder when we are starting, and then as soon as we get to the finishing games inakuwa climbing lanes. You come shaifika, you're now entering Nairobi. And then as soon as you enter Nairobi, you realize that you guys are supposed to go to Meru, and it's more like an uphill task. So sometimes I feel like that's the way. But of course, I'm grateful that at least we have a team that can compete favorably. Over the years, because sometimes we usually feel like
that's the thing. Yeah,
the trophy is our birthright. It's not. It's a competition. Any other team can actually win, but it does not change that I'm an Arsenal fan forever.
You know, the thing is, I like what you're saying, because this season, I would say, even if they don't win it on Sunday, but this season there's a level of grit that I felt Arsenal displayed as compared to previous seasons where they lose. Because I think the game, some would say the game, I know the game against Man City was a deciding point. The game against Aston Villa as well was very important. That I think they lost that one.
Yes, they lost.
They lost that game to Aston Villa. I think that one, yes, it happened. I think obviously, of course, Emery.
Yes.
Lazima angelipisha ama lipisha kisasi.
Uko tu sawa. Bora kuna mtu analipa
mahali. I understand. But I think I must give the Gunners a lot of respect. This season they have shown another level of fighting spirit and from also unlikely characters. Someone like Trossard has been phenomenal.
Trossard, I believe every that Trossard, especially has been a distractor.
Yes.
Most recently, the one goal down
against
that we played.
Manu.
Yeah, so it's more like, and I'm most worried, Wokabi, about the transfer period.
Why?
Yeah, what wanauzwa, my friend. So I don't know if they're going to touch on our star players. It's going to be like an affair whereby we're going to maintain like our main guys.
Arsenal is going to get rid of the others.
What were bench?
Yeah, the others. Jesus, Nketiah, Emil Smith. Those are the ones they're going. The starting 11 stays, I think. I would assume even Thomas Partey might just stay.
Yeah.
But because it's just to add on something. Like Bernard says, last year they pushed much and then they dropped off. This year they've pushed all the way to the last day of the season. So it's an improvement.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal lost the league in two instances. One is that week in December when Arsenal Fulham.
Yeah.
And Arsenal lose to West Ham.
Yeah.
And Arsenal draw with Liverpool. I think that period was funny.
Actually, that's actually facts. Because if you look at the trail, we were doing well, but up until the losses, and it's some games that you wouldn't actually expect. You know, we'd expect
especially Fulham.
Fulham,
yeah,
West
Fulham
Ham
one was.
But West Ham wanacheza fiti. Sijui
West Ham kuna wale wanaoneanga, kuna wale wanaoneanga. West Ham played Liverpool and they looked like prime Barcelona, and then after that they just stop. It's
I'm just like West Ham have an element of surprise every time they have like a game against so-called big boy in the games. Like anyone who was like known to dominate, the famous names. Wakipata mtu kama Chelsea, they don't joke. Man U, they don't joke with Arsenal.
But then hizi zingine wanafungwa tano. However, I believe the main reason Arsenal lost the league, and I'll say this, if they lose the league, that they could still win it on Sunday. They could still win it on Sunday.
I like what you're saying. Yes. There's a lot of truth about what you're saying. Yes. What I don't like is your tone.
Okay, sorry. Arsenal could win. If Arsenal don't win the league tomorrow,
yes,
I think they lost the league in the 1-1 draw versus City, in the 0-0 draw versus City. Because I felt like City were there for the taking. City really were struggling. Kyle Walker is not there. Stones is not there. They really weren't looking like
would have been a simulation of what in real sense would have been our finals, you know.
Yeah.
When you come like with what we are seeing right now, could have been the only game that we'd have wished to watch as a final game.
And I felt like if Arsenal had gone to the Emirates and to the city of Manchester Stadium and played on the front foot, we are going to beat you. Step on your neck.
Yeah.
Finish you off.
Would have definitely
Yeah, I think that would have been it. I don't know.
Bernard, wewe wacha hiyo story yako.
That's what I think.
Tunaongea English ya kawaida huyu jamaa anasema esophagus. What is wrong with you?
Nini? Wewe mnaunderstand? See, Wokabi, actually I agree with you because think about it, the fact that you beat them. And these are the defending champions. Psychologically, it gives you that boost.
Like, remove them completely from the equation. Yeah. And I know people say, oh, no. I think this Arsenal team, especially they've played this calendar year, if they went there and played on the front foot, like in the first leg.
Yeah, in the first leg.
Play on the front foot. Like, don't just sit back and defend for... I think Arsenal maybe get something. I think Arsenal could beat them, and if they beat them, I think today, it would be different. But for City, balls. The point was really good. They were like, we've held on, no Ederson, no Kyle Walker, no John Stones, but we've held on. That would have been a 2-1. Hata tungewapiga 2-1 ingekuwa fiti. Maybe performances for the games that you're saying we had a draw. If we had just wins, pure wins, I believe that would have been... Sahi tungekuwa tunaongelea story. Tungekuwa tunawatukana. Unajua sahi we have... Kesho tunaingia na jazi, tunaambia pasi avae, tutaiombea, tunatoa kwa Catholic, tunapiga zile unajua zile miondoko. Yeah. Having a different celebration tomorrow, but all in all, football still the best game ever to be celebrated as is. I hope they don't so many things. VR walitoa ama bado it's a very interesting, that actually what you said is very interesting, because what there is, Wolves came up with this list and said, guys, this is the reason we are going to remove this VR story. And they enumerated reasons, 1, 2, 3, many reasons, and now it will go up for a vote.
Okay.
And the interesting thing actually is, you saw Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
He said if he was voting, he'd vote to remove it.
Exactly, because one thing, I'm more of a football fan, but also the beauty of football, you know. Sometimes bao ikifungwa una celebrate, yes, alafu twende tuangalie tupime, and then after you celebrated, if they cancel a goal, ulikuwa una celebrate nini? Karudivo. Una get? So it's the thing about VAR is bringing about perfection. Sometimes the beauty of football would be the human error and the beauty of it. I miss the days when a footballer would unafunga bao, tutaandika about it, funga bao na mkono, tutaandika about it maybe later on as hand of God or something like that. It kills the myths around football, you know. It becomes more of a scientific experiment, you know, like when everyone is perfect, then it becomes it kills the beauty of it. So I don't know.
Which side are you on? Are you side of remove VAR or keep it?
Ibaki.
Watoe hiyo kitu bana.
Ibaki.
And I don't know whether you care about.
Watoe hiyo kitu.
I don't know whether you care about
it's
the
been used
points.
in other leagues and it's working.
Actually, that's the one point, because in other leagues it seems to work. In the EPL it seems to have issues all the time.
Yeah.
I am anti VAR from day one, but then since I was told I have to accept technology, that's why I have got a smartphone today. I didn't have one 20 years ago, and that's why I have to accept X and Instagram and TikTok and whatever else is coming next. So maybe we have to accept technology, but maybe we use it in a more straightforward way. AFCON was fantastic.
AFCON was beautiful
with the technology. So maybe it's interpretation of the rules, maybe something else. So it's
or maybe the Englishman has just refused to adjust. You know, it's our game.
Which is ironic because the English are usually some of the most progressive.
Should have been,
what is it called? People. In Europe.
Yeah.
But I think for them, I think that it's because it's not worked for them. Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of the teams. So they felt like if it works for them, they're like for it. If it works against them, they're against it, which is weird. Bottom line, I think VR, it's how you use it. It's how you I think what they need to have done, not even completely abolish it, is just this period of time as we take the break, as the leagues conclude tomorrow, this period of time, review it. See, okay, fine. What is the best practice? How have the Spaniards used it?
Yeah, and
how
the Italians.
Have the Italians used it?
Yeah.
Because we've had very limited complaints from those leagues. And they're part of the top 5 leagues in the world. So what have they done right? Is it the people inside the VR? Because I know the main station is in a central place.
Yes.
So they watch all the games.
Yeah.
So is it there? The problem there? Is it the problem there?
Interpretation.
Lost in translation.
Yeah.
Yes, lost in translation.
Could be lost in translation. Could be it's just working, and maybe the mindset in the other leagues is more people are more acceptable to outcomes. But in the English Premier League, you know, it's about
because you know, bottom line, you need to understand the cameras never lie.
Yeah.
Like where we misinterpret shauri yako, rules ni nini?
But you see now the debate comes. First of all, it's the English just refuse to do things the way the rest of the world is doing. So what are they called? The offside one.
Yeah.
Semi-automated offsides.
Yeah.
It worked excellently at the World Cup.
Yeah.
It worked excellently, even the ball, whether it's with the chip to know how. But the English refused until next season. They're like, we are not doing the semi-automated. And the semi-automated is automatic. It's offside, not offside.
Yeah.
They refuse. So I think that's part of it. The other one, like you say, is, and it's one of the things that Wolves highlighted, and they said, what is this? This overreach of VAR's original purpose to correct clear and obvious mistakes. Now there is overanalyzing subjective decisions and compromising the game's fluidity and integrity. So they are saying we are going beyond what VAR should do. We are trying to do 1,000 other things, and they're like, we are not happy.
It's
Kick
like
this thing out.
I heard you guys having a very interesting conversation about the blue card, and I'm like, sometimes we want to make this game a perfect game, but you know, errors make beautify. You know, errors can definitely come in and beautify football as is. So me na feel kama we should put a hold on that thing. Wacha watu hii kitu tutulie tucheze mpira.
So si kwanza yako ya kesho.
Wewe nani wasiye kesho? Kwanza kesho ndio watoe. Because tunataka kushinda hii kitu. But Wokabi, I remember when growing up, the kind of football we would say, kila mtu kwa uwanja akisema ni handball my friend.
Yes.
Hakuna maneno ya technology. I think so it comes and changes that where kama team yenyu ingeonewa, and it's all about perfection. It's cameras, it's rules, machine technology can definitely tell you this is an offside nini. For fairness, yes, it's working, but for the beauty of the game I feel like it's distorting. And tunaongeza madoido mingi. Wewe ndio ulisema hiyo. Tunaongeza madoido mingi.
Kesho tunakuombea kila la heri. Si ndio?
Jezi yangu nililala kanisani.
Umelala huko.
Nililala church. Nikatoa fungu la 10. Nikapiga 11%, hata si 10.
That one is gone.
Wewe bana, they don't like your tone bana. Wenyewe ukiongelesha watu wa Arsenal. And by the way, ladies, date Arsenal fans. Hatutokangi kwa relationship. kama I usually feel like City fans are pretenders. City fans are pretenders because they are guys that defected from the love for Chelsea, love for Manchester United. Ndio mnajifanya sasa mna support City. Lakini if you want to date someone, ladies, if you're listening to me right now, an Arsenal fan, your relationship itakaa. With or without VAR, with or without the blue card,
and finish second.
Yes, sometimes finishing second where it's necessary. Unajua? Wokabi, when it's necessary. Sometimes to finish second when it's in badminton and other things, it's proper, Wokabi. It's proper. We finish second where it matters.